The next item is item number 29, application for a certificate of appropriateness in the Borough of Brooklyn, docket number 15-2069, block 2119, lot 19, 285 Cumberland Street in the Fort Greene Historic District, an Italianate style row house built circa 1853. This is an application to reconstruct the rear facade, construct a rear yard addition, and excavate the rear yard.
Good morning, Commissioners, Bernard Artis, Preservation Department staff. This application is for 285 Cumberland Street. It's proposal for work at the rear of the building, which is visible from a public thoroughfare. These are some existing condition photographs of the rear of the building. It's actually the building that has the yellow stucco. So the proposal is to construct a rear addition that will go 3 stories, as well as rebuilding the top floor in its existing plane in brickwork. They would be dropping one of the sills to create a door opening. So here is the existing condition elevation. Here is the proposed. This is the proposed rear addition that will be visible to the street. This photograph represents a view of what you see through that alley. Actually, not through the alley, but through the gap between the buildings. This represents the building in its context in terms of its scale in relation to neighboring buildings. Below the deck at the rear addition, they will be doing a small amount of excavation. So this is the proposed condition. Here you can see kind of that sunken area below the deck where they're doing excavation, and here is the existing conditions where there is actually some steps already. So the excavation would be here. And the applicant is here to discuss the proposal.
Hi, my name is Josh Lekwa. I'm here. Oh,
Already?
go ahead. Sorry, my name is Josh Lekwa. I'm here from Ensemble Architecture. We're the architects for this proposal. I think Bernadette already explained it pretty well. The proposal is to construct a new full-width extension at the rear of the building. It's 13 feet deep. It's 2 stories plus the basement tall. So the extension is a total of 27 feet tall. The deck comes out 8 feet beyond the extension, and we're proposing to excavate down 30 inches below it so that there's a little patio at the garden level. The facade of the new extension is brick, which will match the brick on the neighboring house. We propose to reconstruct the facade at the top floor in brick to match the original condition with the original arch window heads, reconstruct the cornice. There will be multi-light casement windows, steel casement windows with black frames on the facade. The size and sort of pattern of the panes is to relate these windows in scale to the windows at the front of the house, which are also divided light windows. Our extension is shallower than the neighboring extension, which is 35 feet deep. And I think this diagram shows that it's, even with the extension, it's shallower than the average sort of depth of the building on the block. It still allows for over a 50-foot rear yard. So I think I'd just take questions.
Fine. Are there any? Okay. None. The community, is there testimony? The community board, 2, reviewed and approved. The landmarks committee of community board 2, 9-2. Approval. Discussion.
It's perfectly modest, reasonable, and appropriate.
Good materials. It's kind of a perfect presentation, simple,
Okay.
correct.
Yeah, it's very deep rear yard, and it's I think it's an appropriate addition. I have no
Okay.
problem with it at all.
Roberta?
I also think it's appropriate looking at what's there now and the few other extensions and their sizes. I think that this one is appropriate.
Modest and appropriate. We got 6. Marjorie, okay, are you okay with coughing? Can you do
I'm
this?
okay.
Thank you. Hearing closed. Motion second.
In the matter of a certificate of appropriateness for 285 Cumberland Street in the Fort Greene Historic District, the application is to construct the rear facade, construct a rear yard addition, and excavate at the rear yard. Really? I recommend approval, finding that the existing extension of the rear of the building is a modern addition, and therefore no significant architectural features will be lost or damaged as a result of the construction of the proposed rear yard addition. That the proposed addition and deck will be in keeping with additions and decks of neighboring buildings in terms of depth, and will not eliminate the presence of a rear yard or diminish the central green space. That the proposed addition will not rise to the full height of the building or exceed the height of rear additions at neighboring buildings. That the size of the masonry openings at the addition will be in keeping with the residential scale of the building. That the proposed materials and finishes of the addition, including red brick cladding and black painted metal windows and doors, are compatible with the material and finish palette of the historic building. That rebuilding the simply designed top floor of the rear facade, which is now coated with stucco, with new brickwork, matching the historic condition except for lowering one sill to create a door opening, will return this portion of the facade closer to its historic appearance. That the modest grade change at the rear yard will be compatible with this block and will not diminish a unified central green space. That the excavation will be done in compliance with Department of Buildings regulations under the supervision of a licensed professional engineer or registered architect to protect the building's facades and the adjacent building. And that the only portion of this work visible from a public thoroughfare, the upper portion of the rear of the building, will remain in keeping with the character of this row and be a discrete secondary feature of the streetscape.
Second, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Approved. Thank you.
Thank you.